have unbelievable material abundance. And you'd think a little bit harder and say, well, they seem busy and stressed, and they seem to be getting a great deal of satisfaction out of the work they're doing, and they don't quite call it art, and they still feel like they don't have enough and they want more, and they're still finding new ways to compare with each other. And maybe they're now, instead of like looking at whether their house is bigger or smaller than their neighbors, they're looking at whether they own a nicer Galaxy or less of a nice one than their neighbors. But I think the human drives are just going to keep going.
Human nature
Yes.
I
don't think so.
doesn't seem to change. So one of the things I write about in my weird books is the prediction that we're going to fall in love with robots, which is an exaggerated version of what I actually do think is true, that we are going to embrace AI entities as emotional companions. What's your sense? I mean, are you a fan of the kind of singularity type vision where there is this merging and we start to build emotional connections with things that are created rather than born?
Yeah, I suspect that entertainment in the future will look quite different. And maybe it does. Maybe a lot of the time spent watching TV or playing video games today is replaced with an interactive experience with AIs. And we probably do derive some version of companionship from that. But for most of us, I think the premium on, the real human, authentic version of it goes up, not down, in that kind of a world. So I'm sure we'll be talking to AIs a lot, and I'm sure it'll be a fantastically entertaining world. But I would bet that there's something deep about human nature where just the knowledge that it's another real person or not really matters.
Although sometimes, I talk to some of the people I care about the most entirely through text because we don't live in the same city. So I might not know if they were being replaced, or I might be fine with that if they were dead.
Well, that's the question. If you knew it was not a real person behind it, would you feel any different?
Right.
And I would posit that you would.
Yeah.
We're going to find out.
Right, we're going to find out.
But I think you will.
Okay. All right, so we should make a bet on it and,
I would be happy to bet
see
on it.
100 years from now.
I'd give you nice odds.
Okay. So I want to go back to one other piece of that you raised in your talk earlier.